All right, everybody, welcome back to Gen Booms. My name is Connor.
Welcome. I am Robert, his dad.
And today we are doing Frank Ocean's second album. We are done after this with his discography.
Woohoo!
Yeah, we did Channel Orange a little while ago.
Yeah, not a very big discography. But,
Not much.
but a very popular one.
Very popular, yeah.
Seems to be.
We're doing Blonde. And doesn't need an introduction if you're watching. You probably love the album. So I don't think... you were just looking at some stuff online, but...
Yeah, I was looking at because it's been a little while since we did Channel Orange, which was a cool album, and so it's been a few months, and so yeah, I'm just kind of reading up a little bit on him and the album, and certainly people really seem to love it, and also just have its 10-year anniversary this week.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I had sort of forgotten that. I knew it like before it was coming, and then you just reminded me the other day, like, oh, it was Blonde's 10th anniversary. I'm like,
yeah,
we should have uploaded on then, but
like 4 days ago. So
yeah,
pretty cool. Kind of crazy. He hasn't done anything since then, but
nothing since a few singles like in 2017,
something like that. From what I read, yeah, and
all the way to,
from what I read, he's just not really a fan of Fame. So.
Not a fan of Fame. Yeah.
He wishes he had done like Daft Punk and just used a mask or something instead of using his real name.
Yeah, that fits very well for him.
From what I read anyway. So, yeah, so cool. I'm looking forward to it because I did like Channel Orange, and yet I know this, everybody says, is his masterpiece.
Way better. I have met some people who really like Channel Orange. To me, that's a bit wild. I feel like Blonde is thematically like just a lot better and everything, but I like Channel Orange. Some songs like Pyramids I think are incredible on there, but this one is 1 hour exact.
Cool.
And there is a cool, we'll get to that, but yeah, we'll just start here. I guess we'll just start with Nikes.
All right.
There's just like a story to it too, like a theme.
Okay. Yeah, I was kind of curious why it's called Blonde, but I assume, or I hope I'll figure that out as it goes on.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay.
Bitches want Nike. They looking for a check. Tell them it ain't likely. Said she need a ring like Carmelo. All you want is Nikes, but the real ones, just like you. Just like me, I don't play, I don't make time. But if you need dick, I got you, and I am from the line. R.I.P. Trayvon, that nigga look just like me.
We'll let you guys prophesy. We gon' see the future first. Living so the last night feels like a past life. Speaking of the don't know what got into people. Devil be possessing homies. Demons try to body jump. Why you think I'm in this bitch wearing a fucking yarmulke? Acid on me like the rain. Weed crumbles in the glitter. I know that your nigga came with you, but he ain't with you. The only human in is humid in these bar mains. I mean, my balls sticking to my jeans. We breathing pheromones, amber rose, sipping pink gold lemonades. Feel it? I may be younger, but I look after you. When you're not here, I'll save some for you. I'm not him, but I mean something to you. I mean something to you. I mean something to you. It's only awkward if you're fucking too.
Really cool vibe on that. I was reading the lyrics, which also are kind of all over the place.
Hard to get. Yeah, to be honest.
But I was like, I kind of want to just like close my eyes and let it just wash over me, like
Yeah. he has a similar effect, I think, because like you saw that one of his influences is Radiohead. I think some of his songs, not all, but a lot of them, I think he purposely trying to make it so that it's hazy and something that you just sort of listen to, earbuds, whatever it is, and just sort of look up or whatever it is. I think it's very similar to that.
Yeah, okay. And then, I mean, trippy, like, the first third of the song was like
high pitch,
like an auto tune, but almost like a kid's voice kind of a thing.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm actually glad you picked up on that, because that is the point. Is it's supposed to be? There's some indications from stuff you could see, like Woo fucking buzzing Woo. He's sort of talking about something like that's my little cousin got a little trade. We out by the pool. Basically, he's at sort of like a pool party. And this is supposed to be like his younger self talking, which is why he has similar to Kendrick. He does like an inflection to show.
Oh, okay. That was wondering because I mean, there's mentions of A$AP Rocky on there, but I mean,
not Rocky actually.
Oh, wasn't? Oh, I just saw Pour Up for A$AP.
A$AP Rocky is from the A$AP group.
Oh, I see. Okay, I didn't realize that.
And he actually, because when he's saying this, like R.I.P. Pimp C, R.I.P. Trayvon, and he said, and I yam from the line, pour up for A$AP, because A$AP Yam had died around that time.
Oh, so okay, I see.
Referenced it, yeah.
And R.I.P. Trayvon, I assume it was Trayvon Martin.
Yes, I believe so.
Just like me, okay. So some trippy stuff in there, but
yeah, I'm curious if you
Yeah, because it was hard to really take like what does it all mean? Because I mean, you're starting off with because the song is Nikes, and you start off these bitches want Nikes, they're looking for. Okay, so I think it's gonna be this. It's gonna gold diggers, whatever, something like
materialism.
Yeah, materialism. Yeah. But then then it was talking about it was my little cousin and this and that, and then he starts talking about singing more in his real voice about about
we'll let you guys prophesy.
Let you guys prophesy.
Yeah.
Prophesy. Which is a unusual way to. I always heard prophesize, but.
Yeah, I didn't actually know, and I still never checked. I assume that is a real word, but I've never heard prophesy.
Because it looks like prophecy when you're reading it, but he says prophesy.
Prophesy.
Is that like
sounds
a verb?
Cool.
Because I've always like I said. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah. So anyway, yeah. If you know any more about it, because I don't know.
Well, lucky for you, this is my favorite album.
Well, yeah, that's true.
It's tough to pick, but it's up there for sure.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the Nikes part is sort of more obvious, talking about materialism. Girls, not specifically girls too, but here he sort of mentions it more for girls who want just the materialistic, uses Nikes to represent that, of course, and she wants a ring like Carmelo Anthony, if you remember.
Oh, yeah, no, I got that one. I figured, said you need a ring like Carmelo. I was like, okay, it's Carmelo Anthony, yeah.
Which, dang, it's crazy he never got a ring, too. But, yeah, so he's talking like I say, sort of at like a pool party, and it's sort of, he's talking like it's from his perspective, saying, because at first he starts, that's my little cousin, he got a little trade, his girl keep the scales, a little mermaid, we out by the pool. It sort of switches over to that girl's perspective, this girl that he's talking to.
Oh, really? Okay.
Right here, when this girl is sort of talking, that he like she likes the guy that she's with, but he doesn't really like her back, and so there's parts there like we don't talk much or nothing, but when we talk about something, we have good discussion. I met his friends last week. Feels like they're up to something good for us. So that's why the part where later, when he's back in his almost adult form, I guess I'll call it, then he's like, and I know your guy came with you, but he ain't with you, and all that. Right. And then so Frank's looking at this. He likes the girl sort of, and is then talking like, I may be younger, but I'll look after you. We're not in love, but I'll make love to you. So he's falling for this girl, but the girl is liking what I'm pretty sure the character is like his cousin, and they're just at a pool party with some of it being let me go back up here. Sort of like drugs and stuff. There is a theme of some drugs in here.
Okay.
Weed crumbles into glitter, acid, astro, all that. So just sort of, the album's not linear, which makes it really hard to follow. Because he's talking about different loves, different girls, and sometimes guys because he's bi. So this one is one girl, and then it might swap to like a different time or a different relationship. It's just all about his relationships and love.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. No, that's cool.
Not too much for now since it's the first one.
Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, we'll go into Ivy, which is really big, over 1 billion streams.
Oh wow. Okay.
Here we go.
Cool.
I thought that I was dreaming when you said you loved me. The start of nothing. I had no chance to prepare. I couldn't see you coming. When we both know that deep down, the feeling still deep down is good. If I could see through walls, I could see you faking. If you could see my thoughts, you would see our faces. Safe in my rental, like an army truck back then. We didn't give a fuck back then. I ain't a kid no more. No matter what I did, my waves wouldn't dip back then. Everything sucked back then. We were friends. I thought that I was dreaming when you said you loved me. Start of nothing. I had no chance to prepare. I couldn't see you coming. But we both know that deep down, the feeling still deep down is good. In the halls of your hotel, arm around my shoulder so I can tell how much I meant to you, meant to sincere back then. We had time to kill back then. You ain't a kid no more. We'll never be those kids again. I broke your heart last week. You'll probably feel better by the weekend. Still remember, had you going crazy, screaming my name. The feeling deep down is good. I thought that I was dreaming when you said you loved me. And we started from nothing. Ooh, I couldn't you now. It's alright to hate me now. We both know that deep down the feeling still deep down is good. There were things you didn't need to say. Did you need to?
Wow, well, that's a
Oh,
lot,
outro.
isn't he? Yeah,
Yeah.
like he's just,
Sort of throwing shit around.
yeah, like get pissed off or whatever, just feeling something and start tearing apart the studio. Yeah, that's what it sounded like. And also because of the way he was,
Singing the last
singing
parts.
it and then screaming it, about definitely, been dreaming.
Yeah. Because it doesn't even sound like dreaming.
No, I was hard to understand. Like, if I hadn't read that, I wouldn't know that was saying, I've been dreaming of you.
When I first heard it, I thought he was saying I'm in trouble.
Oh, yeah. Not
But,
even remotely
no.
close. So, yeah, I mean, another cool song, cool vibe. It was, different in the sense that it's, one part is like, this love part.
Yeah, that's like the chorus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then obviously the breakup. Well, we literally said I broke up with you last week.
Yeah, I did really say that.
So
never be those kids again. It's almost like reminiscing on the love.
Yeah.
But
yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I got, and then but kind of going back and forth, like it's almost like, it was so awesome. I thought I was dreaming when you said you love me.
Yeah.
But then it's like
the start of
things
nothing.
all changed and everything sucked back then. But we were friends and like all this stuff. Like
It's very like what's it called? Paradoxical.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, which in some sense I get that in a relationship, especially one that has ended. Like there's you look back and there's the great happy times and the love and the lust and this and that and there things fell apart. So you maybe yelled at each other, whatever it was. So so it's like that one song that has like damn near everything. Like
True. Yeah.
In many ways, a lot of different parts of the relationship.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't sure why it was called
back
Ivy,
and
to
forth.
be honest.
Ivy, I think is meant to just be sort of like poison ivy because it looks pretty, and then you touch it and it hurts you.
Oh, okay.
I think it's probably. I'm not 100%, but I presume.
Yeah, because I was wondering also just ivy, like a little bit of ivy can grow and just grow and grow and grow.
True.
And kind of
and just
take
spreads.
over everything and
Yeah.
spreads, and so it can just take over everything. So so those feelings of love and stuff can just consume you. Take
exactly.
over everything, and then can also turn bad, and then that can consume you as well. So
Yeah, I mean, he does also mention ivory. It's not the same. Ivory's illegal. Don't you remember?
yeah, I thought that was interesting because I didn't.
It
know
is
what-
very interesting.
what-
It doesn't fit with any of the other lyrics.
what that was exactly was about.
I will be honest. I actually forgot
Yeah,
because I knew at one point, but
Okay.
I do not remember what the ivory thing is. Because ivory, as far as I remember, isn't that? That's
like the
one
tusk of an
it's
elephant,
tusk of an
like,
elephant,
yeah.
like adding like
Yeah.
a sort of a color,
which
but
is illegal, and it used
is
to be,
illegal.
but yeah, in places now.
made of ivory. But,
So that's strange, but so yeah, I thought that was an interesting.
you guys
line.
let us know because I remember it being important. Obviously, not majorly to the entire album, but I'm sure somebody out there knows, and you let me know because I don't remember. But
Yeah, and then just like the idea of like what was it? You can hate me, and I'll hate you.
yeah,
or whatever, and
yeah,
yeah, which is in a nice, and he sings in such like a nice way, like you want to sing along, but it is kind of a weird thing,
it is. And then everything, like every line swaps. I could hate you now, you could hate me now. Both know that deep down the feeling is still good. Like it swaps from like negative and positive just constantly.
Right, yeah, which I mean
It's very accurate, to be fair.
right, yeah, because you think of, like I said, relationships in different ways, and so, but yeah, the feeling deep down, at least maybe not on the surface anymore, but deep
true.
down, it was good.
Yeah. And then that's the only other thing, because it's clearly about a girl. Or it could be a guy too.
Is it?
But just about somebody, I mean.
Could have been either way, yeah.
Yeah. And as far as I remember, like the sort of the leading theory here, this is not the same girl from Nike's.
No, okay.
This is a different girl, even though you would think maybe like, oh, now they're together. Different, since it's not linear. There's just different stories going on.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So we'll keep it pushing so we can get through it. And we got Pink and White, which is the biggest by far.
Oh, really? Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I see over 2 billion or something.
Yeah, this one, it is really cool.
All right.
And here we go.
Yeah.
That's the way every day goes. Every time we've no control. If the sky is pink and white, if the ground is black and yellow, it's the same way you showed me. If you could
fly, then you'd feel south. Up north's getting cold soon. The way it is, we're on land, so I'm someone to hold true. Keep you cool when it's still alive. Won't let you down when it's all ruined. Just the same way you showed me. You showed me love. It's all downhill from here. In the wake of a hurricane, dark skin of a summer shade, nosedive in the floodlines, tall tower, milk crates. It's the same way you showed me. Cannonball off the porch side, older kids trying off the roof. You kneel down to the dry land, kiss the earth that birthed you. Gave you tools just to stay alive and make it out when the sun is ruined. That's the same way you showed me. You showed me love. It's all downhill from here. Real life, remember how it was. I'm cheap, Michael Jackson, all in shit. Say what up to record. Say what up to life and my life. Building up my bikes, running up. I'm from me, still in granny six. Give me some sweet, bitch, I might like immortality. This is life, immortality.
It's a lot of birds.
Yeah, a lot of birds. Nice. Wow. Okay. I mean, cool vibe. I'm actually.
It is a really cool vibe.
I'm still a little surprised at over 2 billion streams. I mean, maybe since my first listen.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. It's yeah, it's hard to describe. I mean, just the production of it, it's the way it builds, it's really calm. The ending part, Beyonce. This is the one Beyonce is the background vocals when they're going like.
I thought I thought I recognized the voice, or at least it sounded familiar. I should say. I didn't realize it was Beyonce, but yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Hard to explain now. It's just.
Yeah, because right off the bat, the song is called Pink and White. So if the sky is pink and white, and if the ground is black and yellow, it's the same way you showed me. So, yeah, it was an interesting name for the song.
Yeah, it is.
I wasn't totally, because like, what does pink and white mean? And like, okay, well, it does say pink and white, but it still didn't clear up things.
It is a focal. I think this to be fair, this is one of the songs that like a lot of people who listen to the album and such do love it because of the lyrics, but I think the vast majority of people, like the 2 billion streams and everything, they just love how it sounds, which I do too. I think it's really cool, but I think a lot of people completely skip over the meaning of it, and they just don't look at the lyrics like at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, one, it's hard to understand exactly what is the meaning, because it does talk about a lot of different things. Or
it's just not straightforward.
Yeah.
But there is some, like when you're looking, then you sort of like, oh, wait a minute, like he's sort of talking about something here. Because, again, he'll use certain lines, like from here, the first time he says it, regard my dear, it's all downhill from here. Yeah. Because up to that, he's nothing crazy, talking about things that are a little vague, same way you showed me, and then eventually says you showed me love. But then once he says regard my dear, it's all downhill from here, and then he immediately starts talking about a hurricane.
Yeah, and that line actually sounded from In the Wake of a Hurricane. Like, I know that line from somewhere, so I couldn't place it though.
Similar to In the Eye of a Hurricane from Hamilton.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of, to be honest.
True. But yeah, because he had lived in New Orleans during Hurricane Katrina. So that's what he is sort of talking about here. At wake of a hurricane, nosedive in the floodlines, tall tower of milk crates, I think is the supplies people bring in. And then talking about the same way you showed me. I think it's really, from what I could tell, about a friend. I think this is the leading theory, like about a friend that had passed away from the hurricanes, and showed him how to love and how to sort of keep going, which is why I think he sort of develops, because it's like a pretty young version of him, probably in college. And he sort of develops this affinity for immortality because of seeing Hurricane Katrina and people die.
Okay, and wanted to, yeah, because there's lines on, excuse me, that make more sense when now knowing that, because there was lines about like jumping in the water, like from the port side or something like that.
Yeah,
and,
older kids trying off the roof.
Yeah, cannonball off the port side. Not cannonballs, like that's definitely a dive move. And then older kids trying off the roof. So that sounds when it was flooding, and they're jumping off the porch and they're jumping
Yeah, it sort
off
of
the
doubles
roof.
because you would picture it as like a pool party or something like that too.
But if it's during Katrina as well, then
yeah, and then
it starts talking about if you can die and come back to life, and up for air from the swimming pool. So it does kind of make more sense then if he survived.
Definitely doubles
Katrina.
Yeah, it definitely doubles as for like a pool party because swimming pool and all that. But just because obviously the lyrics are so odd that you're like, this doesn't work for us. A pool party.
Yeah, because
back to life, up for air.
It's like a giant swimming pool.
Kiss the earth that birthed you, gave you tools just to stay alive. Definitely fits the flood the most.
Yeah.
And then make it out when the sun is ruined. I'm pretty sure that's what the pink and white is referring to, is like the hurricane, and once you're out and the sun is like your day is sort of gone, the sun is ruined, so to speak, and so the sky is a mix of pink and white.
Yeah, okay. Okay, that's cool. Because I wasn't sure if it was about, a person, or is it about God? Because, that's
true.
Talking me to the sun is, whatever, and that's the same way you showed me love, and then glory from above. So that, so that's why, but then it's all downhill from here. So, like, remember life, remember how it was. So, because it's all like stuff he used to love or whatever, like climb trees, Michael Jackson. It all ends here.
Yeah, like remember life, remember how easy it was, like or how fun.
Oh, well, maybe before the floods hit, and maybe and friends or people died or whatever. So
yeah, that's what I don't really know, but just because this part when he says say what up to Matthew, to Shub, to Danny, and then life immortality sort of gives me the vibe of like, are these people that passed that you're saying say hi to them for me, or I don't know. Because I don't know who they are.
Yeah. Wasn't totally sure about that. And, okay. Well, at least I think that makes more sense knowing about he was there, during Katrina and all the flooding and stuff. So that was crazy time. So yeah.
Yeah, I was alive for it, but I wasn't old enough, so
no.
I don't really know anything about it except for what I hear.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. So okay, really interesting. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and now we're on to Be Yourself. It's sort of an interlude, so I'm just gonna let it play, and we'll go into solo.
Okay,
here we go.
Many college students have gone to college and gotten hooked on drugs, marijuana, and alcohol. Listen, stop trying to be somebody else. Don't try to be someone else. Be yourself and know that that's good enough. Rely and trust upon your own decisions, on your own beliefs. You understand the things that I've taught you. Not to drink alcohol, not to use drugs. Don't use that cocaine or marijuana because that stuff is highly addictive. When people become weed heads, they become sluggish, lazy, stupid, and unconcerned. Okay? This is Mom. Unless you're taking it under doctor's control, then it's regulated. Do not smoke marijuana. Do not consume alcohol. Do not get in the car with someone who is inebriated. This is Mom. Call me. Bye.
Hand me a towel, I'm dirty dancing by myself, gone off tabs of that acid, form me a circle, watch my Jagger.
Immediately on acid after that.
Might lose my jacket and hit a solo one time. And we don't gotta be solo. Now stay away from highways, my eyes like them red lights. Right now I prefer yellow, red bone, so mellow, fuck around, be cutting you. Think we were better off solo. Smoking good, rolling solo. 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 There's a bull in a matador dueling in the sky. In hell, there's heaven. Oh, oh, oh. skipping showers and switching socks, sleeping good and long. Bones feeling dense as fuck. Wish a nigga would cross and catch a solo. On time. White leaf on my boxers, green leaf turn to vapors for the low. And that mean cheap cause ain't shit free and I know it. Even love ain't cause it's not cost. That clinic killed my soul. Won't let you fly solo. I wanted that act right in Colorado that night. I brought trees to blow through, but it's just me and no you. Stayed up till my phone died. Smoking big, rolling solo. It's hell on earth and the city's on fire. In hell, there's heaven. Oh, 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 by myself.
Pretty rare to hear like an organ in a song.
True these days, yeah. Wow. Well, yeah, kind of like you noted, like it went right from the mom. I don't know if that was like an actor's or really was like his.
As far as I know, it's his friend's mom.
Oh, was okay.
Yeah.
Saying, don't do drugs, particularly don't do marijuana, or whatever. And then immediately he's doing
on acid,
that or more.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I wasn't totally sure what to make of it, which seems to be the case with a lot of his lyrics. So, I mean, because one part he's clearly with the person, and they're driving and, and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And,
like these parts and all that.
Yeah, because the earlier part, it's just, like, they're talking about driving and even like, if, you blow me, I'll give you 2 kilos tomorrow, whatever the heck it was.
Yeah, that part, yeah.
But then later on, it was like, talking about the trees, but he's not, somebody's not with him,
He definitely...
And then he is solo himself.
He writes about a lot of different things on a lot of different songs. Like on Solo here, he talks... I feel like there's a lot of different types of solo. Mm-hmm. Even the clinic part about... and then the courts won't side with you, won't let you fly solo. So a lot of different ways of being on your own. Starting... Let's see. I will say, as far as... what I remember and as far as what I think is sort of what a lot of people go with, this is sort of about the same girl from the first song. I don't really know what we can call her for now, but that girl from Nikes. Yeah, because you mentioned it sort of continues like they were at like sort of a pool party. It was like, we too loud in public, then police turned down the function. So it could be that is a continuation of the party. And then he's like, now we're outside, Tommy's perfect, because remember, he likes her. Right. She likes the cousin, but he likes her. Forgot to tell you how much I vibe with you, and we don't have to be alone. Like, I could be with you. And then it sort of seems like it develops into a relationship, not an ideal one, but more of one, like you said, where he's giving her drugs, and then she's like blowing him and doing whatever in exchange. Almost more of like a friends with benefits or something like that. So it sort of seems to develop into that. And then he even says here, like, he has a problem, fuck around, be cutting you, which is more like cheating and stuff like that. And that says we're better off solo. And then, what do you think of this part?
Oh, they commonly would say, like there's a bull and a matador dueling in the sky. I mean, I wasn't sure because, I mean, like, I know clouds can look like, whatever. And, especially if you're high. So it was, but it was also, it followed like, it's hell on earth and the city's on fire, inhale, that's heaven. So I wasn't, I mean, I'm assuming the inhale is like, all right, just smoking pot, and then then you feel good, so that's heaven. But the bull and the matador dueling the guy, I wasn't sure. I mean, other than, like I said, it could be a cloud, or if he's even smoking and then he's blowing it up, he's seeing something. But I wasn't totally sure, other than just some imagery in his head or something. But is there a particular meaning or something in there?
I'm pretty sure. I think it's more like that, where you're saying like the hell on earth is on fire, maybe more just life in general, and then smoking to release that and looking up at the clouds. I think is more the vibe of it, especially since towards the end. He mentions how, past all this, he's like, stayed up. I was by myself in Colorado, brought trees to blow through. This is the girl, clearly, who's like, he gives drugs and they have sex or whatever. But saying it's just me and no you, stayed up till my phone died. But she like never showed up. And just smoking to get rid of the pain. And yeah, I think that's about it. Just looking up at the sky and seeing that.
Yeah, and just feeling alone or whatever. Like
pretty much.
Now it's all just, everything's just solo.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's kind of all right. That's what I got from it. And also just phonetically, solo is you're so low.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, exactly.
So anyway, interesting. Yeah, cool.
Next we'll go to Skyline To. Here we go.
This is joy, this is summer. Keep alive. Stay alive. That's a pretty fucking fast year flew by. That's a pretty long third gear in this car. Gliding on the fire. The deer run across. Killer headlights. Pretty fucking underneath moonlight now. Blood. Summer's not as long as it used to be. Every day counts like crazy. Smoke. Haze. Wanna get soaked? Wanna film a tape on a speedboat? We smell of Californication. On comes the evening, gold seeking ends, peace in my hand worth twice than a friend, and two limbs over shoulder carried away, and comes the morning. Smoke. In comes the morning.
And there's Skyline To.
Okay, that was a weird one. I gotta be honest, because I mean, there's a mellow part, like in the background, like,
Yeah, very
like
mellow,
Blackbird
yeah.
and stuff. But then there one part, it was like almost sound like sci-fi kind of, music, like just
Yeah, that
these
part,
weird
yeah,
little
yeah.
sounds and stuff.
No, for sure.
So, to be honest, it's hard to really figure out what that one was about.
Nah, it's super fair.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I don't think this one is necessarily as important as some of the others.
Yeah. Okay. And also
So
weird
weird.
that he would say, like, he'd say a line and then he'll just go like,
Smoke.
"Haze," and just
Yeah.
like, it was just
Yeah.
so it seemed abstract. I'm sure he's making a
It
point or
is,
whatever.
yeah, because
but,
even that's the way he says something like, "Till God strikes us," like he's sort of having fun with it. I think it does fit. He does mention something here that I guess I would talk about. Is he says, "This is joy, this is summer, keep alive, stay alive." Even making love, all that. The first, because Blonde is one of those. The first half of the album is sort of divided into like, this is almost representative more of summer, and then the second half is more representative of winter and also day and night, because or you can take it in a lot of different ways: brightness, darkness, a lot of that. The last half is darker. The first half is brighter, even though there is a lot of negative stuff in these. But a lot of it, like you said, like there's there's parties, there's meeting people, a lot of like starting new relationships. Might not be ideal, but a lot of starting relationships. And then the second half is a lot of like either ending relationships or just sadness in general. So I just want to touch on that since he does mention like this is summer. Might be a direct nod to the fact that this half is more of the summer half.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Cool. No. That's, yeah, there was interesting lines, that summer's flying by and this, but it's always like pretty fucking pretty much sunrise in sight. In comes the morning, so
he changes his like tempo with it too a lot.
Yeah, it definitely was a little different than the last one, but I mean, I guess it's like parts of it because he did talk about like things start to blur, like it begins to blur. We get older.
Yeah.
I mean, which as you get older, you definitely think, man, like times, everything flew by, whether, when you're especially when you got kids and everything, you're like, wow, they're in college, like,
Yeah.
So, he's only, what, in his 20s, early 30s?
Oh, yeah.
When he probably just went into this. So, yeah, so I was just like, well, that's unusual to be thinking about, like, that it begins to blur, we get older, that it all kind of just starts running together, which I guess at any point in your life you can look at it.
Of course, yeah.
Like, things have just, everything moves so fast, so sometimes, and all your experiences start to blur together. You start looking back, when did we do that? So that kind of thing. Yeah. So interesting on that, but then it just like it's so many weird things of like just you want to get soaked, want to film a tape on a speedboat, smell of Californication, strike a pose, like
very odd. Like it's sort of. To me, I always see it reads as one, he's like sort of having fun with it, but it seems like he is talking about a bunch of different things that fit in the realm of being younger and things of like summer and looking back on that. But it also is one to me where I feel like it reminds me of Radiohead's In Rainbows, because I feel like you just chill out and listen to it because the background is very mellow. So you just sort of have it like listening, and the way he changes the vocals a lot. I feel like it's one that a lot of times, I think the first few times I listened to it, I just sort of listened to it, did not really look at the lyrics that much.
That's probably a good way to go, to be honest. Just feel it, and then
otherwise you're really confused.
Yeah, and also in the song is called Skyline To. I don't think it said anything about a skyline, right?
Nothing about that. Yeah.
So, all right. Well, very trippy.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll just keep it moving here.
All right. Cool.
We'll go to Self Control. This one is one of my favorites.
Oh, cool.
Poolside convo about your summer last night. Ooh, about your summer last night. I give you no play. Could I make it shy last night? Could I make it shy on the last night?
Kid voice again.
Could we make it in? Do we have time?
I'll be the boyfriend in your wet dreams tonight. You cut your hair, but you used to live a blinded life. Wish I was there, wish we'd grown up on the same advice, and our time was right.
Keep a place for me.
Now and then you miss it. Sounds make you cry. Some nights you dance with tears in your eyes. 'Cause I made you use your self-control, and you made me lose my self-control, my self-control.
Keep a place for me. I'll sleep between y'all, it's nothing.
We gotta leave, take down some summertime. Give up
just a night. I know you got someone coming. You're spitting game. Oh, you got it. I know you got someone coming. You're spitting game. Oh, you got it. Yeah. I know you gotta leave. Take down some summertime. We're there, just a night. I know you got someone coming. Spitting game. Oh, you got it.
That's really nice. I really like that one.
I really like that one. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, that was a really cool, musically and everything.
At the end, the building is really cool on that.
Yeah, no,
Just repeating it.
that was cool. I didn't totally, necessarily understand everything, but
Gotcha.
it was interesting because there was one part in it where it's he's doing like the kid voice again.
Yeah, the start.
And well, also later on because he's talking about like sleeping between you, like a kid sleeping with his parents, kind of a thing.
True. Yeah.
And I thought that was kind of cool. Keep a place for me. I'll sleep between you. It's nothing. Keep a place for me. So that was, it's kind of nice. But then later on, he sings it like as the adult voice.
Yeah.
It's the same lines. And so I was wondering, like, one was more like you're a little kid sleeping between the parents, but then the older one. I was wondering actually if it was if he was it was just with a partner, or was he involved in with two people? Because then you'd be sleeping between two lovers or something, or so
yeah,
it's a possibility, or sleeping between her legs, or I don't know, sleeping between y'all, the two of you. So yeah, but it was definitely like there was the childish kind of version, which definitely seemed like it was about parents or whatever.
Yeah, making that similarity, I think.
Yeah, and then definitely was the adult voice,
Yeah, I think
more
so.
Living with the idea of the current, the lovers, whatever, as an adult. So.
Yeah, I think a lot of the lines are supposed to sort of reflect just time moving on. The person that he most likely loved, ex-relationship, whatever it is, she seems to have moved on and maybe got somebody new. And that's why she's in a relationship, and then that's why I really like the fact that it's called self-control, because he talks about the fact that like you didn't like me because I made you have self-control, and then saying you made me lose my self-control, and then the fact that the part that he repeats is both that, which is a very devastating thing to say. It's like he's trying to say like, I'll sleep between you and your new boyfriend, like just keep a place for me in your heart at all, do whatever, but just have something for me,
right?
So saying keep a place for me, I'll sleep between y'all, it's nothing. Just keep repeating that, and then saying, I know you gotta leave, take down some summertime, give up just tonight, I just want to be with you. I know you got someone coming, but I just want to, and keep repeating that. That's part I feel like that's great, because it's like the fact that it's called self-control, and it started with him saying I made you have it, and then saying I've lost it now, and really exemplifying it by being like he has no self-control, and is just begging for her basically over and over.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I agree. That makes more sense than most anything else on that one. But
yeah,
and whether it's a girl or guy, I don't know, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was really cool. I thought the lyrics were, made more sense than some of the other songs to so far.
I think that's fair, and this one I think hits harder emotional too. So when the emotional aspect hits, it's easier to understand too.
I didn't get everything,
Like here, he mentions blonde for the first time.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, you cut your hair, but you used to live a blonded life. I'm just a person who used to be blonde, but it still didn't clear up the whole title of the album.
It's sort of supposed to represent. Yeah, there's more on it, but nose is on a rail. Little virgin wears the white. So to call this person like, oh, now you're like the little virgin wears the white. You cut your hair, but you used to live a blonded life. Saying like. I think representing time moving on, things getting older. This person used to, in his eyes, he uses blonded life to represent sort of his hair in the cover, but like trouble
hair kind
in
of
the
green
past.
In the cover.
Yeah, but it's. I think you had to bleach it first and then do green. But he
okay.
uses it, I think, to resemble of like a troubled past, or just sort of some of the earlier songs experiencing going through drug abuse or having these odd relationships that are almost like situationships, and changing from that, moving on to being something that is seen by the public as better. A little virgin wears the white, saying like you've changed but you used to be like I still remember how you used to be.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and now we're on to Good Guy, which is sort of a cool little interlude. So I'll see if we play it into Nights. Here we
Okay.
go.
It's a good guy, he hooked it up. Said if I was an NY, I should look you up. First time I ever saw you is to the gay bar you took me to. Is when I realized you talk so much more than I do. It's highlights when I was convinced. Nothing much more than some nice shit. And to you, it's just a late night out.
It's just nigga, all the bitches in the neighborhood want to fuck this nigga. You told me. I used to fuck with all of them.
Yeah, I ain't got bitches no more.
But now I don't care about bitches like that, my nigga. That shit, Jasmine fucking wrecked my heart. I don't even know how to feel about bitches.
I'm gonna pause it real quick. Yeah, that part is sort of funny.
Yeah, I mean that's at the end there, kind of a common thing where you're like, if you go through a breakup or whatever, and it's like, I don't care about that. I don't want to be with them.
Break my heart. I don't care about nothing.
Screw that.
Yeah, the Good Guy part was very sad, very melancholic song about this guy and going to a gay bar and realizing this person is not right for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But I did want to point out, just because I forgot to point out last time, the music is actually recurring. People call it like the Blonde theme music, because on here, and it'll pop up again, but also on Be Yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I'll play it. It's just the
Many college students have gone to college and gotten hooked
that one
on
in the
drugs.
background.
Okay.
It like plays in the background a few different times in the interludes and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So that's like the theme music almost.
Interesting.
But yeah, now we'll just keep it going tonight.
Okay, cool.
Here we go.
Round your city, round the clock. Everybody needs you. No, you can't make everybody equal. Although you got buku family, and I know it better than most people, I don't trust them anyways. You can't break the law with them. Get some good shit, have a calm night. Shooters killing left and right, working through your worst night. If I get my money right, you know I won't need you. And I tell you, I hope the sack is full up. I'm fucking, no, I'm fucked up. Did you call me from a seance? You were from my past life. Hope you're doing well, bro. I've been out here head first, always like the head first. Signal coming in and out. Hope you're doing well, bro. Everybody needs you. Everybody needs you. Ooh, 90-90. This feel like a quaalude. No sleep in my body. Time to start your day, bro. Can't keep being late on. Oh, you need the money if you gon' survive. Every night, shit, every day, shit. Dropping baby off at home before my night, shit. You know I can't hear none of that. Spend the night, shit. Kumbaya, shit. Wanna see Nirvana, but don't wanna die, yeah. Wanna feel it, nah, I don't you come by. Fuck with me after my shit. Shut the fuck up, I don't want your conversation. Rolling marijuana, that's some cheap vacation. My everyday shit, every night shit, everyday shit.
All my night, been ready for you all my night. Been waiting on you all my night. I'm Every night fucks every day up. Every day patches the night up. Oh God, you should match it, it's that KO. No white lighters till I fuck my 28th up. 1998, my family had the Acura. Oh, the legend. Kept at least 6 discs and a changer. Back when Boswell and Percy had it active. After Trina hit, I had to transfer campus. Your apartment I didn't use since where I waited. Staying with you when I didn't have an address. Fucking on you when I didn't own a mattress. Working on a way to make it out of Texas. Every night.
Dropping baby, I've been home for my night shit. Yeah. You know I can hear none of that. Spend the night shit. My yard shit. You know them boys wanna see me bum down. Stressed out, every day shit. Shut the fuck up, I don't want your conversation. Rolling marijuana, that's a cheap vacation. Every day shit, every night shit. Every day shit, every night shit. Every day shit, every day shit, every night shit.
Well, like two different songs in there, but
Yeah, there's a beat switch.
excuse me, but
The cool,
but lyrically, I mean, it did tie together.
yes, yeah, for sure. Cool little thing, the beat switch is perfectly at the halfway point of the album.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Which goes into the fact, what I was talking about earlier, the first half is in a sense brighter and like summer and winter and brightness and darkness and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And the first half of the song, like after the beat switch, you could tell it gets a little slower and like darker, a little bit more.
Okay,
melancholic.
yeah, okay. I guess that, makes sense because it's, I mean, the first part, I mean, he's waiting for this person.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as towards the end of the first part, anyway, you know. So that was kind of interesting because it was the way he was saying it. It was like, I've been waiting all my life, but I've been waiting. All
Yeah,
my
exactly.
night.
It sounds exactly
I've
like
been
all
waiting
my
all
life.
my night, all this. It was, you know, it kept kind of repeating that idea, like I've been waiting this whole night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, then it's just like, you know, and waiting, buzz you in, you know, well, you know,
Yeah.
let me know you're outside, kind of a thing. So just, you know, like a hookup kind of a thing. But and one line I did actually really like was just that I still got some good nights memorized. I don't know why I like that line. It just kind of like, you know, there are times in your life that there are certain memories, certain nights that are just like, that was
They're in,
they're just locked in forever.
They have
like,
to be,
you know. So
yeah.
that's some good nights memorized. Yeah, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so interesting because on that he's ending on a what sounds hopeful or positive,
Yeah.
and then as soon as the beat switch happens, after that little guitar part, then it's much instantly negative. Just every night fucks every day up, every day patches the night up. So basically just a cycle of which is pretty common. I think a lot of people like the day they just normal, and then when night comes and they're more alone and the thoughts come out, and then it fucks the day up.
Yeah, that is pretty common. A lot of people say, like, you know, it's you think like it'd be better in the nighttime versus, like, you know, the daytime. You know, generally most people anyway, you have a job. You know,
Yeah.
you're doing your work, whatever. So you think, oh, they'd be happier in the nighttime. A lot of times it's the opposite. Like, because the daytime, at least they're preoccupied because they're doing their job or whatever. The nighttime, and sometimes I'm just alone with my thoughts.
Exactly.
You know? And sometimes that sucks, depending
Yeah.
on the situation you're in at the moment. So yeah, so I get that.
And then sort of just looking back on, I think when he was younger, 1998, family had that Acura, back when Boswell and Percy had it active, all that, and talking about preaching self. I always like that line, preaching self-made millionaire status when we could only eat at Shoney's on occasion.
Yeah.
And Shoney's is, we don't even like have that here, but as far as I know, it's similar to like a Sizzler, I think.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
like
So
a cheap
right.
place. And mentioning Trina and all that.
Yeah, Katrina's mentioned again. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was interesting.
Talking, just being stressed out. I think just the thoughts that come at night was why it's called Nights.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. That's kind of what I was getting from it because I wasn't totally sure. I mean, there's parts where he's talking about the nights where there was, you know, hooking up or, you know, whatever, or just fuck with me after my shift, you know. Like,
Yeah.
But then it's like, you know, them boys want to see me broke now. They see me bummed out, stressed out. So I was like, oh, okay, that's not sure
Yeah.
those people are necessarily, but I can see why he would just, if he's bummed out or dealing with stuff, you know, then in the night he talks about like rolling a joint so he can just
Getting away from it,
get
yeah.
away, you know, rolling marijuana is a cheap vacation. So.
Yeah. Pretty common too.
Yeah, not uncommon at all.
That one was really popular too. I forgot to mention, but yeah.
Oh yeah, over 1 million on that one.
Yeah.
Like, huh. So, interesting. Yeah, I mean, almost always
very
has like a
interesting.
cool vibe to it. Like if nothing else, even if
Yeah.
you don't listen to the lyrics.
And I think a lot of the production too, people were like, because it's over now a decade, so a lot of it was like a lot of the synth and the production very odd. I think people were like, it was very different. Because I still think if it was released today, like, oh, this sounds pretty modern.
I don't know. I think even today it still sounds kind of different. Like it's. I mean,
Yeah,
it's not
it's
because
still
it's not a
different.
pop record.
It's not alternative. It's very it's. I mean, it's alternative if you had to pick one.
Right. Yeah, he's just doing his own thing.
It's very different.
And it's almost surprising, like how popular it is in the sense that
Yeah.
it is kind of not like most anything else.
No, yeah, because it definitely gives the vibe of he just sort of like, I feel like it's in like therapy for him in a way. He's just putting whatever works for him. I don't think he was necessarily caring to make it a popular album.
Yeah, it definitely seemed to be the vibe, since he literally doesn't care about fame.
Yeah.
And has disappeared for the last decade.
Yeah.
So that does kind of make sense. So I was reading, a lot of people were thinking like at the 10-year anniversary, like, oh, he's going to announce something.
Oh my! I heard that. Yeah, I was like, no, he's not. It's Frank Ocean.
Sorry, but that anniversary came and went.
I remember seeing so many videos. Like every now and then, people would be like, "Oh, there's rumors like, oh, he's in the studio. He might be dropping something." And people were like, "Oh, albums that might come out in 2027." And then I saw like him pop up, and everybody in the comments is like, "Frank Ocean," and dropped in the same sentence.
Yeah,
that's not gonna happen ever.
It might happen, and you never know. I mean, he might be in the studio just once in a while, just.
Well, I'm sure he's in the studio.
Doing something.
He's got music.
I
for
can
sure.
see that, but
actually, I will talk about at the end. I have a theory on like, I think he was building up to an album, and then stop, because we'll talk about it for White Ferrari. But he his younger brother died in a car crash, and he was releasing music, and then right when that like his younger brother died, he just completely off. Like never perform again, no music, just nothing.
Oh wow.
So a lot of people think, I mean, it makes sense, but I think that like really just took him to like, he just wants to be private.
Yeah, I could see. What?
Yeah.
Didn't he do like perform at
Coachella?
Yeah, like a few years.
The
ago.
only time, yeah. So sad. I wish I could have gone and seen that, but
didn't he only do like the first weekend or something, or was it he do?
I think
weekend?
so.
'Cause I thought there was something about he just did like one thing and then he didn't do the other. But I might be mixing.
I think it was like that, yeah. But yeah, it was just that. That was the only other time.
Oh, anyway, okay.
But yeah, and we'll get to that later. But for now, we got solo Reprise.
Oh, okay.
Which it says Reprise. It's not the same at all. It's about being solo though, and then it's Andre 3000 for like the whole thing.
So, oh, okay.
I think I'm probably gonna pause it after that, and then we'll go on a pretty sweet. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Here we go.
So now I'm solo that I can see under the skirt of an ant. Solo that I don't get high no more when I try no more. I just go hand. Solo my cup is a rojo, my cholo, my friend. Solo that I can admit when I hear that another kid is shot by the popo, it ain't an event no more. Trying to cut down on my spending regardless of winning instead of pretending and bending over backwards. Over half of these hoes had work done. Saying they want something real from a man, just saying that we being real persons. I hate that it's like this, I feel for you and I don't know what it's like with a skirt on. So pardon me if I am being insensitive, but darling, this only worsens. Solo that I am no rookie but feel like a kid. Looking at the other kids with astonishment while I'm on punishment, watching the summer come close to an end. After 20 years in, I'm so naive I was under the impression that everyone wrote their own verses. It's coming back different and yeah, that shit hurts me. I'm humming and whistling to those not deserving. I stumbled and lived every word. Was I working just way too hard?
Damn, that went by fast.
Told you that's hard to pause it.
I mean, it is Andre.
I mean, he's Andre 3000, yeah.
Yeah.
I like a lot of his lines.
But was it like, did he, because he's saying, like after 20 years in, well, it's not, I mean, Frank Ocean hasn't been around,
No, this is completely just Andre.
So just Andre, like, because
this is just Andre.
Okay, because that was interesting, because I thought, well, maybe Frank wrote it, but then Andre sang it, but then like that line was like, well, that's clearly not, that's Andre.
Yeah,
that's
I think maybe Frank can relate to it since he is definitely clear. Like his music is so clear. Like, okay, Frank, this is clearly Frank's world. Yeah. Whereas other artists, like, yeah, that's just they just sing it.
Okay, yeah.
I'm sure he can relate to it.
But I mean, there is like the solo part, like, oh, you said solo,
Yeah, here they specifically make it obvious that it's
solo.
Just, literally low.
You can see under the skirt on it. So, man, it was going by fast, but it was a cool little...
Yeah, there's some cool little lines there, and then there's some important lines there, too. Between stuff like Geronimo, which is just fun, and then being solo that I can admit, when I hear another kid is shot by the popo and ain't an event no more.
Yeah.
So it's just too common. That, talking about, going sort of back to Nike's, talking about materialism, so hard to wear polo.
Yeah, that was really interesting. I
cut
thought.
Yeah.
I like like that part about to cut the pony off, which is what the polo is. And,
Yeah.
And then now there's a whole where there once was a logo. Like that was really interesting.
And saying how fitting, which is funny because fitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Solo that I can give a fuck about what is trending.
Trying to
which
cut down on what's
definitely is certainly Frank Ocean's thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Andre 3000.
And Andre 3000 for sure.
Although they certainly with Outkast with avoided did some hits for sure, but they also kind of walked away and still went back to doing their own thing.
Yeah, and they have a lot of deep meaning in those hits, like Hey Ya and Miss Jackson. But a lot of people just don't pay attention to the meaning. But yeah.
So I guess that makes sense that both artists would kind of couldn't give a fuck about what is trending.
For sure, yeah. And then I think this part too, but I know we're backwards. Half of these hoes had work done, saying they want something real from a man, just saying it would be real people. Pointing out obviously the problem with some women, and then saying, but also I don't know what it's like with a skirt on, so pardon me if I'm being insensitive.
Yeah, I thought that was all those lines are really good. Because I mean,
yeah.
even like you said that half these hoes had work done, which is generally like plastic surgery or whatever,
lip filler, all that. Yeah,
saying they want something real.
Yeah, that's a good thing to point out.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting. But then going on, but I don't know what it's like to have a skirt on. So all that kind of stuff. So really cool lines.
A lot of really cool lines. Yeah,
it was hard to even keep up.
Even saying,
reading it,
my halo feels like it's bent.
Yeah, that was a cool one.
Yeah, that, and then using pesos for money. So basically saying I don't even care about money and pussy and none of that.
Mm-hmm. No, it was really, really cool.
Really cool.
I liked it.
My favorite is the last where he says, I stumbled and lived every word. Was I working just way too hard?
That's pretty cool.
That's a hard-hitting line.
Yeah, exactly. No, very cool. I like it.
It's really cool, yeah. And now we're into Pretty Sweet. This one is one that was inspired by A Day in the Life.
Oh, by the Beatles?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think you'll see as soon as we start the song.
Okay.
To the edge I race, to the end I make it. All the risk I take it. Head bang with my 4 friends, we pour a taste out for the dead. This is the blood, the body, the life right now. The hype right now might be what I need.
It's very chaotic.
That might be what you need.
What is to be alive on this side?
You wanna kill me now?
This side.
Don't let me down.
This side. On the other side. I'm on this side. I'm on this side. I'm on this side. Mothers of us, be kind to the fathers on whom we rely. Fathers of us, be kind to the mothers on whom we rely.
That was a trippy song.
It's a trippy song.
Very trippy. It's kind of like a Day in the Life in reverse, though, because
Yes.
the Beatles song starts off,
normal.
weird stuff that he's talking about, like seeing a car crash and somebody die, and stuff like that.
True.
But then it gets more, the
like,
chords get more dissonant, and it's more chaotic.
Yeah.
And this started that way, and then it kind of went the
Complete
other way, all the way to the end. So that's why you put that Beatles record on.
Yeah. Sgt. Pepper.
Because it's the last song of that album.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, I can definitely see in there a little bit, so we're like definitely like it, like a little bit of the piano and stuff, just like it was on the Beatles song playing at the beginning. but then it did, you know, change a little bit too. Especially getting into at the end, you know, where it went into like, you know, the
beat drop.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, telling like, you know, the mothers be kind to the fathers, you know, on whom we rely, and the fathers be kind to the mothers on whom we rely.
Yeah,
that was you know, interesting. And then finally got into what Pretty Sweet is, but you know, but not totally clear on it. You know,
yeah,
we know you're sugar. And then was it also sweet even though because you know sweet like a sucker, but it says sucker, which is more like that's how you know somebody's a sucker when they're, you know, they're a fool, or you know they got conned or something.
It's like like a condescending way of just saying sucker.
Yeah, so sweet like a sucker.
And having kids say it too.
Yeah, and then pretty sweet. So I was like, well, yeah. I mean, you could be like almost like too nice of a person, and so you know you're a sweet guy. But then you're a sucker, you know? So I wasn't sure, you know, I guess it was kind of at least somewhat that way, because otherwise he would have written sucker the normal way. And then, the beginning part, though, was just like, it was so chaotic and wild that...
and like all the lines go on top of each other, too, like to the edge, and you'll still hear that, and he starts the next line, and they're just completely on top of each other.
So that one I was looking at it again now, because it went by kind of, you know, such a weird, chaotic way. It was hard to, you know, hear it, like you said.
Yeah, it's I don't entirely remember exactly. I think a lot of it was just supposed to represent a lot of chaos, and saying like to the end I'll make it and all that, and then sort of quieting the chaos and making it to a calmer, I think, like in your head, I think, to making it to a calmer portion, and then saying, you know, F the other side. So just trying to, I'm on this side, how it feels to have arrived, and then going into that. I don't entirely know why why is it called Pretty Sweet? Like, what is who's he singing to?
I'm not totally clear on it either, but it was interesting, just running it all together, and you know, all the risks I'll take it, and then like, you know, headbanging with my 4 friends, like, well, that's, you know, that's what are you, a heavy metal concert? Like, I mean, that's headbanging. So
I know.
You know, like,
but they're saying like we pour a taste out for the dead, because that's super common. You know, pour one for the dead.
Yeah, exactly.
The blood, the body, the life.
Which is kind of, you know, like the Holy Trilogy thing in a way too, you know.
Yeah.
So I didn't totally get it, you know, but it was certainly an interesting song.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of people don't like it. I think it's the least streamed actual song, like not.
I mean, I could see it because it's not like, you know.
It's super bizarre.
If you're just like it's not the, you know, it's just in chords. It's chaotic, so it's like it's not the most fun to listen to.
I get it. I mean, the first part is very odd. To me, I actually really like after that, because I think it's very mellow, and then the beat drop is really cool. So.
Yeah. I mean, little kids and all that part was, you know, was a cool thing.
Interesting.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. And next we got Facebook story, another interlude.
Oh, okay.
So we'll have that, and we'll run it into Close to You, which is pretty short. Here we go.
No, I was just telling that I got this girl before, and I was together since 3 years, and I was not even cheating her or what, and Facebook arrived, and she wanted me to accept her on Facebook. So I said, I'm in front of you, I don't need to accept you on Facebook. She started to be crazy. She thought that because I didn't accept her, she thought I was cheating. She told me like, it's over, I can't believe you. I said, come on, you're crazy. Tell her like, it means like it's jealousy, pure jealousy, for nothing, you know, virtual thing.
I'll be honest, I wasn't devastated, but you could've held my hand through this, baby. I run my hands through what's left, but we're getting older, baby. Don't have much longer, baby. Why am I preaching till it's quiet to this atheist? After a while, they're keeping me
Well, I wasn't expecting the Carpenters.
And that's why we have the Carpenters.
See, okay. Yeah, because although I wouldn't have thought, Carpenters would fit with Frank Ocean from what little I know.
Yeah, I mean, he changed it heavily.
Yeah, but that, and, like I see, the line kind of works there, too, because it's such a different thing. I mean, obviously, the original version is such a, a love song, just, because even the birds, they're just like me, they want to be close to you. But,
which it does have that note to it.
Yeah, but here it was more like, went through a breakup or something, and, and dealing with that, and kind of thinking back and wanted to be close to the person. I like that that just the opening, like, having gone through the breakup or whatever, and it's like maybe it was a little colder than it needed to be or whatever, because, like, I'll be honest, I wasn't devastated, but you could have held my hand through this. Like,
you could have been nicer.
You could have eased into, just done something, and not just out. So I'd like that, because that's it's not an uncommon feeling, I think.
Oh yeah,
and
pretty common.
Especially if it hasn't been that long a relationship. I'm not devastated, but Jesus, man.
Yeah, a lot of people just leave things coldly.
So because also a lot of people, they don't know how to deal with it, and they don't like conflict, so they just like, I'm out, and they just don't even talk, and don't say anything. And like, could you let me know? So anyway, so I thought that was really a cool way to start it.
Yeah, I like the way he's singing with the background too, like the dun, 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 dun. Just repeating. It's a very mellow vibe that makes you pay attention. And then the why am I preaching to this choir, to this atheist?
I really like that line. I thought it was really interesting, just because it's just saying these things, putting out we're getting older and whatever. Don't have much longer, but why am I preaching to this choir, to this atheist? I thought it was really,
almost like to everybody, to both.
Because also, if you're preaching the choir, like you're preaching, you're saying stuff to the people already think the same anyway, so there's no point to it. But then to this atheist, which is also to himself, I'm assuming. Too. But it's like, and don't believe it.
So preaching for no reason. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was really, really clever lines on that.
This one's cool too. Just like mine, versions of these belong to you, because I think it also like versions of the song.
Oh yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. And then just going into that.
The normal lyrics, similar. This one's from the original.
Yeah, just like me, they long to be close to you. So,
and I find out that is a sample of Stevie Wonder's version, which is why it's like he has like a talk box, which is why it sounds like that.
Oh, really? Okay, I wasn't familiar with the Stevie Wonder version.
Yeah, I actually really like that one. I think the talk box makes it sound really cool.
Oh, okay, that might have been the original for all I know. I really don't know when they.
I think it was Carpenter's for the original, but I'm not sure.
I know they're the ones that had the hit with it.
Yeah, started the big thing.
But beyond that, I don't really know. So interesting.
Yeah, and then just that Facebook story was interesting. Just I think it's a French producer that helped work on the album. I forgot his name.
Oh, okay.
But it is his true story.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounded like it'd be a true story, actually, and an interesting one, and an interesting, take on it. I guess I do see that. I hadn't thought about it, but like, you got to accept it. Like, well, we're already in a relationship. I'm right here.
Why would you?
Why do I need to do that? So I get it. I mean,
insecurity.
At the same time, maybe it doesn't really matter. But I mean, I do definitely see his side of it. And then all of a sudden she's like, "Oh, you're cheating on me." Like, what? No,
it's like this is just ridiculous.
No.
Yeah, you gotta be more secure.
Yeah. So that is kind of a weird thing. So I think Facebook and stuff like that has changed a lot of lives. Probably.
Internet has made a lot of things really bad.
Just made it different at the very least. So anyway, very, very cool.
Yeah. Next we have White Ferrari, another massive song, up there for arguably my favorite on the album.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of people's favorites of his discography. It's pretty awesome.
Okay, cool.
And here we go.
Bad luck to talk on these rides. Mine on the road, your dilated eyes. Watch the clouds float, white Ferrari. Had a good time. 16, how was I supposed to know anything? I didn't care to stay the plane. Kept my mouth closed, we're both so familiar. White Ferrari, stick by me, close by me. You will find, you will find. As this slow ride left when I forget to speak. That was my part of the deal. Honest, we got so familiar. Spending each day of the year, white Ferrari. Good times. One too many years, some tattooed eyelids on a facelift. Mind over matter is magic. I do magic. If you think about it, you'll spend no time. I'm sure we're taller in another dimension. You say we're small and not worth the mention. You're tired of moving, your body's aching. Clearly this isn't all that there is. Can't take what's been given, but we're so okay here, we're doing fine. I'm only naked, you dream of walls that hold us in prison. It's just a skull, at least that's what they call it, and we're free to roam.
That's a real weird little outro of that.
Yeah, I think it just keeps you thinking.
Yeah, I liked it. That was really interesting. That was really cool.
Yeah, incredibly depressing.
Yeah, I mean, you know, another breakup or what have you. But some really cool lines in there.
Yeah, the last part is most people's favorite, mine too, because it's very sad. It sounds really sad. The lyrics are really sad. The way he's singing is very sad. That when it switches over, this part, I mean, it starts off, I'm sure we're taller in another dimension, but saying like, you say we're small and not worth the mention. Tired of moving, body aching, almost pleading there, we could vacate, places to go. All of that.
Yeah, I thought that was a really, really interesting lines, and then just like but clearly this isn't all that there is, and I mean, just like there should be more, but yeah,
yeah,
and then it's just kind of like they're, you know, like that the primal and naked, and you dream of walls that hold us in prison. It's just a skull, at least that's what they call it. Like so the walls of the prison are really just
in your mind,
your head, your own skull.
Like the other person has just decided they're done, and he definitely doesn't want to.
And then another line along those lines was he was talking about mind over matter is magic. You know, like and I do magic.
I do magic.
I thought that was a really good line.
I've always loved that line.
Yeah, that's really
that
good.
That portion there, I think, because that goes back to the blonde and blonded life and all that. One too many years. Some tattooed eyelids on a facelift, I think, gets overlooked, because it's like talking about you get tattoos on your eyelids, which is very apparent, like something that a lot of people notice, but then you get a facelift and they're gone. They're just completely useless. The years gone by, and now it's...
Yeah, that was an interesting one. I mean, also because you just open your eyes and they're going to be gone. So.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, I thought that was really cool, you know, lines like I said, like, mind over matter is magic. You know, just pushing it aside if you're able to do that, and then I do magic. So it's kind of like he's accepting it, or, you know, getting better at pushing thoughts out and having mind over of it. But but you know, then you're going in, if you think about it, it'll be over in no time, and that's life. I think that's
a harsh
harsh reality of that's just the way it is.
Yeah, I
That's
really
the way it
like
goes.
that part too, especially since he's after talking about things like this. I think there's a lot of lines on the album, especially on the song here, that, like I said before, where it sort of just represents like time passing, things going by, looking back on things. And then I like how after that he says that if you think about it, it'll be over in no time, and that's life.
Yeah, so that's now really cool. I like the guitar on it. It was very simple
super
and
nice.
pretty, and there were
Yeah.
parts of it almost had like a beatless thing to me. On some of their like their mellower, like Yesterday, and some of those kind of more of acoustic kind of stuff that they did. But yeah, really cool. I like this song a lot.
Yeah, this one is arguably my favorite by his. I love that one. This one and Seigfried actually are like my top two.
I didn't totally get the
White Ferrari.
The white Ferrari, because most
that
Ferraris
makes
are
sense.
red. That's the
Yes.
standard.
He has a white one.
Does he really, or is that?
He did have a
Oh, he
white
really did. Okay.
Yes, he really did.
Okay.
One thing, he does use cars for a lot of different things. On Nostalgia Ultra, which you had brought up before, which is only on like SoundCloud and stuff, his EP, that also has a car. He loves cars. He uses it to explain things. The white Ferrari was sort of meant to represent the purity, the fun, the fast, all of that, because the Ferrari is fast, fun, and the white being pure. Sort of like the album cover.
Oh, okay.
And here, had a good time, Sweet 16. How was I supposed to know anything?
Okay, yeah, I got it. Okay, that's cool. Because I was wondering if, like I said, since most Ferraris are red, at least that's what they're mostly known for. If a white Ferrari was something to do with like devoid of color, like if something like it
Could
was
be that too.
along those
like
lines,
numbness, perhaps.
Yeah, like just like because it's the fun is gone or whatever it is, like so life became devoid of color. May have nothing to do with that if he actually owned a white Ferrari. So I don't, I don't know.
One last thing I do want to, I really think he does a good job painting the scene here, where they're riding in the white Ferrari of bad luck to talk on these rides, mine on the road, your dilated eyes. I let you out at Central, and then sort of saying like I didn't care to state the plane. Both so familiar, like just really setting the scene of like he sort of has to say goodbye, and they're just not even talking.
Yeah, I like that a lot too. When I first when I saw that same exact thought, just letting the person out at the train station.
Yeah,
didn't care to state the plane. Like it's obvious. There's nothing to
There's
say.
nothing to say.
Yeah. So yeah, really good lines. I like that song a lot. Very cool.
And now we're on to Seigfried. Here we go.
All right.
This is like the depression stage.
Like Seigfried and Roy.
Not that, but
oh, okay. Because I was like, one of those two got mauled by the tiger.
By the tiger, yeah.
So, okay, but not that Seigfried.
Yeah.
The markings on your surface, your speckled face, flood crystals hang from your ears. I'd rather live outside. I'd rather chip my pride than lose my mind out here. Maybe I'm a fool. Maybe I should move and settle. 2 kids in a swimming pool. I'm not brave. I'm living over city and taking in the homeless sometimes. I've been living in an idea from another man's mind. 2 kids in a swimming pool. I'm not brave. I'd rather live outside. I'd rather live outside. Rather go to jail. I've tried hell. This is not my life. It's just a fond farewell to a friend. It's just a fond farewell to a friend. This is not my life.
It's just a fond farewell to a friend. It's not what I'm like. It's just a fond farewell. Speaking of Nirvana, it was there. Rare as the feathers on my dash from a phoenix. There with my crooked teeth and companions sleeping, yeah. Dreaming the thought that could dream about a thought that could think of the dream of the thought that could think of dreaming and getting the glimmer of God. I'd be dreaming and dreaming the thought that could dream about a thought that could think of dreaming a dream where I cannot. Spin this flammable paper on the film that's my life. High flights, inhale the vapor, exhale once and think twice. Eat some shrooms, maybe have a good cry about you. See some colors, light hang glide off the moon. In the dark, I do anything for you. In the dark, I do anything for you. In the dark, I do anything for you. I do anything for you.
It was a trippy song.
Yeah. That's why it's arguably, between that and White Ferrari, my favorite song.
Oh, really?
I think the lyrics are really, really cool on this one. And the sound is super unique. Just puts you in like a trance.
Yeah, the trance is definitely a good way to put it, because it was, yeah, it just kind of sucks you in and it washes over you, and like, yeah, it's just, I don't want to just zone out and just go with it.
Yeah, to me, it's like, yeah, it has you in that state where you sort of zone out, but then at the same time, the lyrics, I think, even if I'm not looking at them, like, I remember when I would hear them, and they're still so interesting to me that it's still, like, I'm in it, I'm zoned out, but I'm in the song. Like, I'm zoned out of the world, but I'm in the song.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. Interesting, because, I mean, he's talking about this stuff about, living over the city and all that, all the kind of stuff with, the place with the view and all that, and, maybe I'm a fool, but then, and then keeps coming back to the two kids in a swimming pool, and I'm not brave. But then later on, he says, this is not my life. This is for a friend. So I was like, was it all the original part? Was that the life of a friend, and he was just singing about it as it was him, or because he does keep repeating that, like, this is not my life, this is for a friend. But also right before that, he kept talking about, this is how Molly feels, this must be how Molly feels. Like, so it's but is that must be like, it must be how Molly feels, or it is how Molly feels, because it was all about, that's being, just high. This feels how Molly must feel.
Yeah. There's a lot of really cool themes in here. I will say on this part that it's just a fond farewell to a friend, this is not my life. That is actually his like sort of cover interpolation of the song called, I think it's called Fond Farewell by Elliott Smith.
Okay.
Which I have shown you a couple of his songs because I really like him, but he's not a big artist.
Okay.
I think it was in the, I believe, 90s. Very mellow guy. He was one of those similar to Jeff Buckley, where he was a very different sound, very acoustic, and a lot of people really liked him, but he wasn't very popular. And then he died, somewhat mysterious how some people think Jeff Buckley, there's other things there, but same way where he died, and a lot of people find his music somewhat haunting, I guess.
Oh,
and then this song he made, people definitely draw the comparison because it sounds like he's talking about a suicide in that song. Just a fond farewell to a friend, like sort of dissociating yourself from your life and being like, this is just a fond farewell to a friend. This can't be like, this is not my life.
Oh, okay. So I took it as a more of a literal kind of a thing, where it's not my life. This is actually a fond farewell to a friend, like it was his life that he was singing about at the beginning.
Yeah, no, because everything else is about him. So I do think he's singing about himself, using it the same way as Elliott Smith did.
Oh, okay.
Which does make it very ominous. Fits the sound of it.
Interesting. And then, so Do you know why it's called Siegfried?
Yeah, so Siegfried is in Norse mythology. He's like a hero. He's a very brave hero who, I forgot all the details, but that's all you really need to know. He's a brave hero in Norse mythology who is able to do what he needs to do to keep moving on and living in life. And he keeps saying, like, I'm not brave. That's like the main thing Siegfried is known for in Norse mythology is bravery. And he just keeps saying, it's called Siegfried and saying, I'm not brave. Maybe I'm a fool. Maybe I should settle. You know, maybe I should do that, but I'm not brave and I can't do it, and I'm going to stay here.
Okay, well, that's interesting. So what was the two kids in the swimming pool? Was that just kind of going back to the earlier stuff? Or was there
I think it's
meaning,
talking about to settle for a place with some nice views. I think saying the settle down of like being in a family.
Oh, okay, settle down and then, you know, see yourself with two kids in a swimming pool kind of a thing.
But it's like he's not able to do it.
Because he's not brave. Because that's the very next line.
That and, I'd rather live outside. I'd rather chip my pride than lose my mind out here. I think it's relating to love. After the, like, why Ferrari, it sort of goes in stages. And why Ferrari is like the breakup happens and you're very upset. And then Siegfried is like the depression stage. So I think it's at that point where, like, probably like, I don't even believe in love anymore. I don't want to. Saying I'd rather chip my pride and lose my mind, you know.
Yeah, see, I was wondering if that was more about just the music industry and all that stuff, because he, you know, before that he was saying, because right before that he was talking about that he can't relate, you know, I can't relate to my peers, right? Like, so I can't relate to my peers. I'd rather live outside, rather chip my pride than lose my mind out here, like, you know, like with these people, like, I can't relate to these people. That's why he's doing his own thing. So I was wondering if it was maybe that, because he does specifically say I can't relate to my peers. So that's kind of
I think it may have doubled. I do think the main one is probably the relationship one, just because that is the point of the album. So I would imagine that's the main one, but it definitely could have, since he definitely doesn't love media. And then I really like, there's the part where it almost sounds silly when you listen to it, but then you look back and like, oh, I see what he's saying there. All of this I love. I love all these lines, but dreaming a thought that could dream about a thought that could think of a dreamer that thought that could think of dreaming and getting a glimmer of God, and repeating it and making it even longer.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, and you know, kind of deeper. Like, wait, what?
Yeah, exactly. It's deep, but it's also where, like, because I've showed this song to a couple people and they normally laugh because they're like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Well, yeah, because it does come across as just wordplay. You know?
Yeah, just pointless.
Right.
If you look at it, I think it's pretty deep, because I think the part that lets you more know about it, saying that could think of dreaming a dream where I cannot, and it goes back to other part. Where was it? There was one part that I think helps explain it a lot better. Oh yeah, here. I've been living in an idea from another man's mind, because I think it's like,
that was interesting.
Almost like he's having a dream or thoughts, going back to the not brave and all that, thinking of what he could have. But it's so far-fetched, it's almost like he's having a dream of a dream. It's so far-fetched that he can have this dream, and in that dream, he doesn't even remember that he's the one dreaming it. That's why he's saying, like, I'm in a dream of a dream, an idea from another man's mind. It's just so completely distant.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that was an interesting one, you know, that line.
Yeah.
That stood out for me.
I like that. I like when it slows down there and he just starts speaking, is some of my favorite lines. Because he talks about relationships here, being, speaking of nirvana, it was there, rare as the feathers on my dash from a phoenix, there with my crooked teeth and companion sleeping. Because he's talking about, like, before he had sort of wanted immortality and talked about wanting nirvana but not wanting to die in one of the earlier songs too. And then here he's like, after the breakup and everything, and he's looking back saying, like, actually, speaking of nirvana, it was there in the relationship. I just didn't see it. It was as rare as feathers from a phoenix. It was there, and I think, like, the way he says crooked teeth and companion sleeping, like, it was there in all the imperfections, but I overlooked it until it was gone, and now I see that I had nirvana.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see that. That makes a lot of sense. No, that's really good.
Yeah, and that's why I wrote it in, because I wrote out some of my favorite songs in my journal of, like, my favorite writing, and this one's one of them.
Oh, okay, very cool.
And then the next part too. One moment, like, dwell on my gifts for a second. One moment, one solar flare would consume, so why not spin the flammable paper on the film that's my life?
I thought that was a really good line too. I wasn't totally clear on the meaning of it, but like, you know, now we're discussing it now, that makes a lot more sense. But yeah, really clever writing on that.
And then the fact that a solar flare would sort of consume the earth.
Yeah. Very cool. No, I can see why that one got a lot of...
Well, that one's actually not that popular.
Oh, no, not compared to... Okay.
White Flower is just so openly sad, and then this one's more of a depressive stage.
I guess so, but yeah, really interesting.
Yeah, I love that one.
Very cool.
And next we're Godspeed, which, you know, after the depression stage, eventually you sort of have to hit the acceptance. So that's where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
How I do. Let go of a prayer for you. Just a sweet word. Wishing you Godspeed, glory. There will be mountains you won't move. Still, I'll always be there for you. How I do. You look down on where you came from sometimes, but you'll have this place to call home always.
Very gospel-like on that.
Yeah, very much. Yeah,
I think that's that famous gospel singer on it singing there.
I think so.
Yeah. Kim Pettrell, something like that. Anyway, you're interesting because I was thinking, at least up until the very last line, that for the most part it was like as if God were the one singing. I will always love you, how I do. You know.
Yeah, true.
The table's prepared for you, because all the way down it had stuff like that, you know, that there would be mountains you can't move, like, but God can. Also that I let go of my claim on you. It's a free world, so God gives free will, so that hoping that you'll choose Him. But yeah, so there's a lot of stuff like that. I was kind of thinking, well, that's just all God, because it's. But then at the very end, and she was even saying at the very end is, I'll always love you until the time we die. And I was like, well, if God, God's eternal, so He can't can't die.
Oh, little bug
die. Crazy.
Yeah, that's why I'm pretty sure it's more going through the cycles. He's more at the acceptance stage, where you're no longer in that deeper depression or sadness or yearning. It's more, I will always love you, and I hope the best for you. There will be things that you can't do. I wish you Godspeed, but I'll always be here for you.
Yeah, I definitely think it is more of that way. And it certainly fits as well, like you said. Just accepting, like, okay, I'm always gonna love you, but we're not together, and that part sucks, but yeah, so just moving on, but I'll always be there for you. Interesting though that it did kind of end with the a gospel singer kind of woman singing the stuff. There's a God element to it. Oh, we go ahead and saying Godspeed, but that's just like, hey, move on, you know, or like, you know, you're accepting and, you know, you go with God, you know.
Yeah, it's very gospel influenced, the song.
But yeah, and then like some interesting lines, you know, like that, like silence in the ears, darkness of the mind. Or like you stop listening to, you know, like you don't want to hear some things, and then just you get some dark thoughts can get going with, you know. But anyways, different ways to take the song, I think, but interesting song, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's a unique song. It's cool.
Yeah.
Now we're on the last one. It's pretty long because it's like one of those where the first few minutes is like a song, and then it's sort of like him talking. So we got Futura Free.
Futura Free?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Here we go.
If I was being honest, I say long as I can fuck 3 times a day and not skip a meal, I'm good. I used to work on my feet for $7 an hour. Call my mama like, mama, I ain't making minimum wage, mama. I'm on, mama, I'm on. Now I'm making 400, 600, 800K, mama. To stand on my feet, mama. Play these songs, it's therapy, mama. They paying me, mama. I should be paying them. I should be paying y'all, honest to God. Let me run this bitch, don't run into the ground, mama, the whole galaxy. Goddamn, fuck these lanes, they don't want none. Fuck these lanes, they don't want none. Fuck these niggas. Fuck these niggas, they don't want none. Fuck these niggas. Fuck you niggas, fuck me, if I hated on you. Check up me, please give me immortality. I'm going rapidly, fading drastically. Yeah. I pull a zip down. Wet your lips first, lick the tip now. Smoke some.
I keep quiet and let you run your phone bill up. I know you love to talk. I ain't on your schedule. I ain't on no schedule. I ain't had me a job since 2009. I ain't on no sales floor. I only got one photo. Remember when I had that Lexus? No, our friendship don't go back that far. Tyler slept on my sofa, yeah. Niggas go back that far. I ain't smoked all year. This the last song, so I'm finna wipe that off. Tolerance is so low. Still smoke a whole dog. Menage on my birthday. Tap out on the first stroke. Cause this ain't no work day. She don't give head anyway. Jay hit me on the email. Said I oughta act my network. Dog, this is chess now. Now fetch, I ain't running for a nigga. Ain't ran since track meets. That's the only time I ran from a nigga. You could change this track now. Could've changed this bitch a long time ago. No, ain't, no, and no. Fuck, no, and Matt, no. Shit went 180 on me. Please run that back, though.
You say some shit about me, Tucker, real sport. The second time Jerron was there, nigga, he grabbed me, Tuck, and another nigga tried to
Jerron told me you got your ass message told me.
Yeah, because the nigga tried to boom me in my face. I had AD in a headlock.
First time I saw
I just thinking like...
There's a long pause. Like a very long pause.
That is different.
Definitely talking more about how he does not like the press and all that.
Yeah.
Make sure you speak up.
Okay.
What's your name?
Ryan.
Yo, hey, be quiet. What's your name? What do you do? What's the most amazing thing you've ever witnessed? You're not doing it. You're not doing it. Alright, What 3 superpowers do you wish you had? Wait, my bad. Hey, say it again. Just say it loud. Alright, what's your name? Yo, what's the year dog? Stop. Stop. Any secret talents?
I don't think so. I'm pretty open about everything that I do. Talents. Probably Dill, because he doesn't have to do anything at all. Just sits inside his house.
What's your name?
Sage Alcessor.
What do you do?
I play soccer. And I go to school.
How far is a light year? How far is a light year?
That was one of the weirdest outros I've ever heard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's half the song. I mean, I guess it's kind of set up so, like that long pause is that, people can just tune out, like after you've heard it the first time. I can't imagine people like sitting around and just listening to that, because
true.
I don't really know what to make of it. It's so scratchy sounding, and like, who were the kids? Who is he doing the interviewing? Did he get this from somewhere?
What's cool is actually, as far as I know, because you can see they mentioned Tyler a couple times, and he mentioned in the song that is Tyler the Creator.
I was wondering if that was that Tyler. Okay.
And that is from, I think it was their high school.
Oh, did he go to actual? Did they go to high school together?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't remember if it was both of them or it's just Tyler. I feel like it would be just Tyler, because I know Tyler grew up in the LA area. As far as I know, Frank grew up in the New Orleans area. But I know it is for an actual footage of like interviews they were doing around the school. I think it was Tyler's, and then that's where all these questions came from.
Okay, because I wasn't sure if he was involved or whatever. Cause I know that he had lived in New Orleans, like we discussed, and then he had moved to Los Angeles. Yeah. I don't know when he moved.
I think it was later, like more to work on music, I think.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But, yeah.
Strange thing to put on the end of the album, though. I didn't really
very strange
get the meaning of it all, because there's different. It sounded like there's more than one kid. I mean,
there's a shit ton of kids.
Yeah, several talking, and then one there's a shout out to Chloe, so I don't know. I didn't really know what to make of all that, other than because it didn't seem to be like a running theme. It was like, what superpowers would you want? Certain things like that, but it wasn't like a continuing theme through it, so I wasn't sure.
No, it's sort of random questions, although they're all very almost childish. Like you said, what superpowers would you have? Most amazing thing you've witnessed? First memory? Like, they're not deep questions.
No, it's just like, your standard kind of a thing, talents and what have you. But really kind of wild. And I already forgot basically what the actual song was. The first half of it.
Oh, okay, we'll get to that.
We can go back and see the lyrics. Maybe I'll remember.
I do want to mention at the end here, because they're all very normal questions. But then at the end, he just asks, "How far is a light year?" and then repeats it. Because you can tell he repeats it because it's the exact same like sound bite.
Yeah, and it's very clear versus the other stuff is
like which is interesting. I feel like he put emphasis on it, saying how far is a light year, because it's such an odd question compared to everything else.
It is, yeah. I mean, because he did talk about in the prior song about how life goes so fast,
Exactly, which is
So
the theme of
does-
the album.
Yeah, so
really.
that part ties together, like, you know, a light
Yeah.
year, because just, you know, 1 year for us, you know, versus a light year is like a second.
It's like unimaginable to think of.
Yeah. So I think that does tie together with the
Mhm.
with the prior song for that part. So, you know, that part I get, you know, how it wrapped up
Yeah.
nicely and tied back to it.
Because in the song too, towards the end, I have to get past all the this interview part, but okay, here, my bad, it was down here. But one of the last lines he says is the shit went 180 on me. Please run that back though, which I think also ties into the album, the theme of it, and everything about love. Especially Godspeed and all that, after going through everything and still thinking that I would still do it over again if I was given the chance, even though it went south.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Well, the part of it is certainly talking about his career, because he's talking about, you know, or earlier on, you know, talking to, you know, Mama, like, you know, like, we didn't have anything, you know, like making $7 an hour and all that, and then he's like now making 400, 600, 800K.
Yeah.
We're not really, you know, doing anything or whatever, and then, like, you know, they're paying me all this money, and it's like I should be paying them. It was like, you know, it's
therapy.
Yeah, it's fun. Like, I mean, you know, creating music and doing, you know, what he loves, I would think.
Yeah, he directly calls it therapy.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's like, I should be paying them. I should be paying y'all. Like, you know, and then just saying, I'm just a guy. I'm not a god. Kind of going back to the last song, you know, being the whole God theme of it.
Yeah, I like that opener a lot.
Yeah, so really interesting, but that definitely kind of goes into the, you know, the whole career thing of people thinking I'm a god and all this and making all this money, and so there's elements of that. Also just that, you know, like, I'm gonna run it in the ground though, like, into this whole.
Oh, if I was a god.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting. You know, like a good thing I am not, because I'm not a god. If I was, then I'd run this bitch right in the ground.
Yeah, let me run this bitch. Yeah, that part is funny. That, and I love, he's very self-aware here. Clearly, I mean, he's clearly very interpersonal throughout the album. I like the part here where he's fuck these lames, fuck these people, they don't want none, and then saying, actually, fuck me if I hated on you. Like, that's lame of me if I did that, my bad.
Yeah.
I like that part.
Exactly.
This part, I think, I mean, the song overall, it's definitely a lot less connected to the album, because it's just very sort of like him having fun. Even says you could have swapped this a long time ago. It's not quite as strongly connected. There are parts of it. The theme music is back, like I said, in the background during the interview.
Yeah, go on.
Very nostalgic sounding music.
Yeah, I was wondering, because I mean, it does talk about, like, you know, like there's, like I said, parts of the career, you know, making the money, just but doing what he wants. So part of the 180 is maybe that, like, you know, he went from being poor to being rich, but still wasn't necessarily happy. 180 might be flipping it back, you know, but also goes Futura free, like, you know, in the sense of maybe he knew at that time, like, I'm putting this album out. In the future, I'm gonna be free. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm done. Like, you know, like.
It's possible.
I don't know, you know, because the song could be taken different ways, and he's definitely talking about his career. And,
Yeah, he mentions it a lot.
And definitely talking about I'm not a god, you know, and all that kind of stuff. And so then at the very end, I guess, is more almost just. That's why I thought it maybe just he's thinking, you know, the talking, interviewing stuff, or just maybe if he was there, and it's just like, I'm just talking to their friends and kind of reminiscing, or, you know, back on those days of just hanging with your buds, and, you know, just
I think that is
stuff, just
what it's supposed to represent. It's like a what do they call it, like an epilogue to something, because I think the main story is sort of over. There's just some points from it here, but it definitely reads more of an epilogue. I think it's like, you know, you've listened to it, and I think a lot of it is sort of about life and time just going, like a coming of age as an album. So when you get to the end, I think it helps you. I feel like I think that definitely, for me and a lot of other people, and when you listen to it, especially the first time and such, if it finds you at the right time, that you felt like you have almost changed or have learned something through the album experience, and then by the end you're looking back just as he is, just like the interviews. But then it like ends it with the How Far's a Light Year, so it still reminds you of the themes of the album.
Yeah, and how far things have gone in his life, whether relationships or his music and everything else, and so I think it kind of makes sense. It's a little bit of everything, and just looking at the album cover right now, or originally, like, I mean, one, there's the hair is
the hair,
but
the buzzed
it's
hair,
kind of like just looking like that, and it kind of looks like, oh, he's somebody has depressed, or it's like, oh god, this shit, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then also there's I was looking at it again just now, thinking like, having read recently that like he liked the idea of Daft Punk and hiding, being in a mask and not having to show his face. So there's an element of that too, of like, I just want to disappear, like I want to hide.
I think it goes into it. Yeah, I think it we don't know him, but I think just listening to the album too, you could sort of see how he develops. I think he does try his best to show how he develops when he's younger, through the relationships and such, through all the things that happen, that he becomes more reclusive, prefers privacy.
Yeah.
And here you could also see it. I don't know if you could tell, but he's like in a shower because there's water going down.
Oh yeah, I can't tell. It's just like a small little thumbnail.
That's why he is. He's not got no shirt on.
Okay. Yeah.
But
okay, got it.
Yeah, it does. I think it can play to that too. Definitely the sadness during something like a breakup or just about life.
Yeah, it looks like. I mean, it just somebody crying in the shower, like just dealing with that grief kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting.
And then Blonde. I don't know if you also notice, the name is Blonde with the E. On the cover, it's Blonde without an E.
I did notice that, and I was going to ask you about because I when I looked it up earlier, the album is just without the E, but then everywhere like on Spotify or whatever they have it with the E, and I was like, why is that?
Both, yeah.
I mean, I know that can be both ways. Like I think,
yeah,
in the UK it's more common with the E, and here it's more common without. I think.
I'm not entirely sure.
Not entirely sure, but I know some places it is.
I don't entirely remember. I might be reaching because I thought I had heard this before. But you guys let me know if I'm like wrong or something. I thought I had heard before that it was also sort of supposed to represent just how things are different. The whole album is like, there's the first half and the second half change between two things, and then I think also possibly the one of them was supposed to represent like male and female. Both can listen. One's with an E and one's without. I don't remember entirely, but pretty sure there was a reason.
So there was a reason. Okay, because I was wondering if it was just because it's in the U.S. and he put it as Blonde, but whoever put it on Spotify or whatever the record company put it with an E, because in different parts of the world that is the more normal way. So
true. And then I also don't know, is it intentional? Like a lot of websites, like the fact that Blonde here written with the E is in white on top of black. On the album it's black on top of white. It's the exact opposite. Hard to tell if that is purposeful.
Don't know.
But yeah, so that's the whole album. There we go.
All right. Well, the enigma continues. Oh no, it's cool. It's a really unique album, right? It's just
it's very unique. I think that's why a lot of people really like it.
Well, I think it's also the kind of thing you can listen to multiple times and hear something different every time.
Yeah, I've learned a lot about the album.
So there's definitely that, because there's some that are just so weird, and some lyrics it's hard to, they're vague or whatever, but I can see on more listens you might get more out of it, or you might get a whole completely different meaning on a different listen. And so that, and definitely with the music and everything, it's definitely, like I said before, it's not like anything else out there. So and then that you can listen to it and hear something different every time. Or at least on multiple listens.
Because we actually stopped talking about the fact that like the girls and the different love, like I sort of stopped talking about them after like the 6th song, but it does continue into the songs of like the same girls and stuff, or guys that he's talking to.
Yeah, there's definitely the relationship, and the breakup of those relationships, continues. It seems to be throughout the album. So really trippy, but very nice. Like see why it's so popular. Well, I mean, to a degree anyway. Like, it's still so unique and kind of mellow for the most part. And
it is very mellow.
It is interesting that it is so well loved,
Yeah, it is sort of interesting because it's nothing poppy, I'd call, like on the entire album.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean in the sense of like, Michael Jackson or whatever, a pop artist or whatever, and like it's not a pop album at any stretch of the imagination. So that the fact that it actually became popular, my bad, is really and beloved. It's really interesting that it broke through, to the masses, that people could really get into it. It's really interesting.
Yeah, though I do think that does speak to the fact that because there is nothing really poppy and it's not easily listenable in that sense, that like I don't think it's as popular for that reason. Because I think a lot of the people, even the people in my life that I know that love it, big music fans, you know, a lot of the artists, when I see people say like, oh, they love Frank Ocean, they love Blonde, like they're artists, of course. They listen to a lot of music.
Yeah, right.
It's people that, you know, a lot of people that just like really love music and, you know, like go through whole albums and stuff. Those are people that I think that really connect with something deeper like this type of project, which I think makes sense of why it's not, it's big, but it's not to a level of something that could be poppier.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That does make a lot of sense. Yeah, like you said, a lot of artists like Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh yeah, he loved it. Yeah.
Yeah, loved it and big fan, and covered one of his songs from the
Thinking About You. Yeah.
Yeah, from the other album. Yeah, really. I mean, cool. I mean, great for him. Like that's really interesting. He just, you know, true artist stuck to doing whatever the hell he wanted to do and connected with people. You know, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's really. I mean, personally, it's my favorite of anything that's like a coming of age or a heartbreak. One woman put it the best. I watched a video about it, and this woman had a really good way of sort of describing it. Of like, I think why a lot of people like myself really love it, or how so many people I know hold it as like their favorite album, one of their favorites. And it's like the process of it, like it feels like life of like just so that coming of age idea of what going through life feels like, and then I think as you listen to it, you look back nostalgically at the end, and then if you ever listen to it again, like sometimes you listen to it maybe a year later, a couple years later, and it reminds you of both like when you first listened to it and how far you've come, which is the themes of the album. So it like gets you to do what he's doing in the album as you continue to grow. So I feel like that part is what a lot of people.
Yeah. Okay, I could see that. Yeah,
it's like cool. A representation of life, I think.
No, that's pretty cool. And like I said, some of those songs, you know, like just like the first couple, even like just like I just kind of want to. It's cool to just zone out,
just absorb
just
it.
Like just take it in, let it wash over you, because it's like it's just some of those just have such a cool vibe. Like I don't even care what he's saying. It's cool. Just let it go.
Yeah,
man.
Just listen to it. Yeah,
yeah.
I agree.
So wow, really interesting.
Yeah, and that's it for him. We'll get to his singles probably just because why not? And there's not that many, and then we'll pretty much be done with everything he's ever done.
Unless he just surprises everybody.
If he does, I mean, we're going to react to that. It's going to be massive. That'd be so awesome. Oh, yeah, I did want to talk about my theory, but did you have something else you want to talk about?
Oh, no, I just said on the 20th anniversary of the album.
Maybe the 50th.
Because it didn't happen on the 10th. So, anyway, what do you want to, your theory?
Okay, so I'll probably pull up a photo so that they can see when I'm editing this. But so Blonde came out 2016. He released some songs like 2017. There's Biking, Lens. There's a different version.
Right.
Moon River is just a cover. But then you get to DHL, and I'm just gonna mute it real quick so I can play it and then look at it. Okay. So you can see the cover here. Okay. DHL. It has like I don't remember. 12 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 9 10 11 12 13. So it's 13 like icons.
Okay.
And there's one of them attached, like one of them that's blacked out, right? You know,
okay.
Right here.
Sort of, yeah. Okay, I see.
And that's along with DHL that he released in 2019, which by this point has been 3 years since an album.
Okay.
Then you go to In My Room, and it's a different one that's blacked out. The same symbols, but it's a different one that has the black on it.
Oh, that's interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you go, there's two more, Dear April and Cayendo, which I love Cayendo. That's a great song. But they have the same thing where they have a different figure that's clearly from the same group.
Huh.
Right? So and this is my theory that he was releasing songs or planning to make an album.
Yeah.
And was sort of teasing the fact that maybe it was 14 songs since there's 14 characters. And these were the songs for it. And then after, I think, you know, probably different things in his life, but after maybe his brother died and certain things, he just dropped it. That's my leading theory, since there's, like, why else are there 13 characters?
That is interesting, yeah. And they do kind of tie together. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
because then after that, nothing.
Interesting. Yeah, could be. I have no idea. I certainly haven't heard the song, so I really don't know.
Yeah.
Trippy.
I've always thought that was so cool. I was like, oh, that would be, if he has a project out there, then That's really cool. Maybe you guys know that, or maybe that's new for you. Maybe I blew your mind.
Maybe he's just gonna do a song in a studio once every 2 years, and then
yeah. Well, it's been 6 since the last one, so
maybe on the 14th.
Yeah.
That's when the whole album comes out.
But yeah, and these are all his singles. So there's like 10.
Oh, okay, it's got quite a few.
So yeah, we'll do those at some point too. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that.
Okay, well, interesting stuff. Who
Very
knows?
interesting, yeah.
But if he really doesn't care about fame, maybe he doesn't really ever want to do it. But I also see he's an artist, so I can see, there are rumors of him being in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure he's working on stuff.
I'm sure he's made things.
Well,
I'm sure he's had things.
Yeah,
will he release it? Yeah.
That's the big question. So
yeah.
And if he's really been working on stuff for a decade, he could have hundreds of songs.
Yeah, already, like, there's so many unreleased songs from that, like, 2009 to 2016.
Mm-hmm.
You got so many unreleased songs. So I know he makes a lot of songs all the time. I'm sure he has a lot of stuff.
Yeah, so, all right. Well, very cool. Very interesting.
Yeah, and that's it. That's our reaction to Blonde.
Yeah, pretty wild. Pretty
One of my favorites.
Yeah, I know. It's been a big favorite of yours for many years.
Yeah, a couple years now, I think.
Yeah.
But
because I know you played some of his stuff in the car once.
I technically played the album in the car.
You played the whole album? Okay. A couple of years ago or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And, we're driving to a basketball game or whatever.
Yeah, because we'll, like, take turns playing stuff.
Yeah, we always would play stuff for each other. Like, check this out. And I didn't get it at all.
At all.
I mean, I was it's really mellow, and I don't know. It's not a lot on, like, on a chorus. It's not your standard, melody, verse, melody. Like,
I mean, that one's
chorus,
it's definitely an album I think you have to sit down and listen to. Like, it's not really a car album.
Yeah, it's definitely better like this. Like, just whether you're reading the lyrics or not, just kind of like just sit down, pay attention to it.
Like I agree.
Almost like a Pink Floyd thing. Like some stuff just you gotta just sit down, put on the headphones, and let it just wash over you.
I agree.
So yeah, cause just hearing the first time in a car, and then we're talking and stuff too. So I was like, I wasn't getting it.
Yeah, it is tough. And then also, I mean, I get why. Like, I mean, I know a lot of people where it's their favorite. A lot of people. Actually, I never met anybody who thought it was like just okay. Pretty much everybody that's heard it has thought it was pretty good. But I can see why some people obviously wouldn't think it's like the pinnacle of music. I think a lot of people like me have heard it. Maybe we found it at a random time. Like, I first listened to the album sort of randomly, but then when I was like re-listening to it, and then I found it more, like listened to it even more during my breakup. So I think it just helps, like, depending when you found the album.
Mm-hmm.
It's always going to hold more of a weight, and I think it just somehow always finds people at like their lowest.
Yeah, well, that's really interesting. Well, then it's great that it's there and out there for people.
Yeah,
to deal with stuff. So very cool.
Yes, thank you guys for watching our video.
Thank you.
Check out Channel Orange. That's so far the only thing by Frank we got. Since
he's
got two of them.
Yeah, exactly.
And leave a comment. Let me know if I miss anything, because there's a lot on this album. So let me know.
Sure, we did. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thanks for watching.
Yeah, just leave a like and subscribe if you like. That'd be very appreciative.
That would be great. And we do have a Patreon account too.
Yes, you can go check that out.
Check that out. So it's unedited and ad-free.
Yes, and you will receive videos a little earlier. Like, I'll probably go put this up right now on Patreon. I'm not going to edit it though, because I'm tired. So YouTube will get it a little later.
Oh God, yeah, because it's 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, it is.
Anyway, thanks for watching.
See you guys later.
Take care.